Sagittarius, the shadows around you are about to reveal their true faces. Sagittarius, your journey has always been one of seeking truth. You are the archer, aiming your arrow at the horizon, unwilling to live in illusion. Yet sometimes the shadows around you are not easy to see. They hide in familiar faces, in relationships you thought were safe, in promises spoken with warmth but woven with threads of deception. You've felt it, haven't you? That quiet unease, the subtle whisper in your spirit that something is not as it seems. For a while you may have brushed it aside, choosing optimism over suspicion, choosing to believe in the best of others. But the universe, in its infinite wisdom, will never allow you to live in blindness for long. The time has come, Sagittarius. The masks that once fooled you are slipping. The shadows that once cloaked themselves in charm or kindness are being illuminated by the light of truth. It may sting to see what has been hidden. It may shake you to recognize betrayal or manipulation where you once trusted. But remember this: revelation is not here to hurt you. It is here to free you. The shadows cannot hold power once they are seen. Stay with me, because in this message we will explore how the truth reveals itself, how to trust the guidance of your own spirit, and how these revelations will not break you, but set you free. And if these words resonate, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe. Not for me, but as a way of honoring your commitment to live in light, never in shadow. Gate 1: The subtle whispers of shadows. Sagittarius, you have always been blessed, and sometimes cursed, with a heart that wants to see the best in others. You are ruled by Jupiter, the planet of expansion, generosity, and faith. That means your natural instinct is to trust, to believe, to give second chances, even when your intuition whispers otherwise. But shadows, by their very nature, thrive in this generosity. They cloak themselves in smiles, in gestures of loyalty, in the appearance of closeness, so that you keep your guard down. The shadow doesn't always arrive as an enemy. It often appears as a friend, a partner, a colleague, someone whose presence feels safe until the cracks begin to show. The whispers of these shadows often arrive in ways so quiet that they are easy to ignore. Perhaps it was the friend who laughed when you shared your dream, calling it unrealistic while pretending to joke. Perhaps it was the partner who told you they loved you, but their actions slowly drained your light. Perhaps it was the coworker who complimented you publicly, then undermined you privately. At first, these moments felt small, forgivable. You told yourself not to be too sensitive. But deep inside, Sagittarius, you felt it, the sharp sting that told you something was off. One Sagittarius I once spoke with, named Alana, described years of friendship with someone she thought of as a sister. They traveled together, confided in each other, celebrated birthdays. But slowly, Alana noticed how her friend's encouragement always came with hidden comparisons, how her secrets became topics for gossip, how every success she shared was met with faint praise. I wanted to believe she loved me, Alana confessed. But deep down, I knew she was rooting against me. When the truth finally surfaced, it wasn't a shock. It was a confirmation of what Alana's soul had known all along. The shadow had been whispering for years, and only now had she been ready to listen. Sagittarius, you know this feeling. The subtle tug in your gut when someone's words don't match their energy. The moment you laugh at a comment, only to feel drained afterward. The times you've convinced yourself to trust, but felt more and more disconnected from your own center. These are not coincidences. They are signals. Your intuition is never silent. It speaks in sensations, in dreams, in the sudden tightening of your chest, when you are near someone whose intentions are not aligned with truth. The storm you endured in the past has sharpened this intuition. Remember how it felt when betrayal once shattered you? That pain carved your heart wide open, not to weaken you, but to teach you discernment. You now recognize the difference between love that lifts and love that manipulates. You see how shadows often mimic light, pretending to offer care while quietly feeding off your energy. And though it hurts to admit, not everyone who stands beside you is meant to walk with you into the future. Another Sagittarius, a man named Ryan, told me about his experience working in a business partnership. For years he trusted his colleague, pouring his energy and vision into their shared project. But one day he discovered financial deception, a betrayal hidden in paperwork and signed agreements. I should have seen it, he said, because I always felt uneasy around him. But I silenced my instincts because I wanted to believe we were building something together. That is the Sagittarian challenge. Your desire for unity can sometimes silence the warnings of your spirit. But the universe does not allow shadows to stay hidden forever. Eventually they reveal themselves not to punish you but to set you free. Sagittarius, understand this. When shadows reveal their true faces, it is an act of grace. You are being liberated from illusions. You are being shown who truly walks with you and who only lingers in your orbit for their own gain. It may feel harsh at first, because the truth cuts deeper than any lie. But truth also heals. Truth clears the fog. Truth allows you to finally see the landscape for what it is, so you can step forward with clarity instead of confusion. And here is where your gift comes in. Sagittarius, you are not meant to stay in bitterness. Yes, you may feel anger when the shadows are exposed. Yes, you may grieve for the trust you gave. But your spirit is too expansive to remain locked in resentment. You will not let the shadows define you. You will let them refine you. Every time a false face is revealed, you grow stronger, sharper, more aligned with your soul's compass. So notice the whispers, Sagittarius. Notice the subtle ways your energy shifts around people. Notice how some conversations leave you lighter, while others leave you heavy. Notice how some promises feel like freedom while others feel like chains. These are not accidents. They are signs. And the shadows cannot hide much longer. The time of revelation is here. The masks are slipping. The truth is emerging. When it does, it will not destroy you. It will empower you. Because Sagittarius, your fire was never meant to be dimmed by false faces. It was meant to burn away the shadows, leaving only authenticity, only light, only truth. Gate 2. When masks fall and truth hurts. Sagittarius, there is a moment in every revelation when the air feels heavy, almost unbreathable. You see the shadow for what it is, the mask slipping from a face you once trusted, and your heart drops. There is no easy way to describe this moment. It is a mixture of shock, grief, and an aching sense of betrayal. It feels like standing in a room you thought was filled with sunlight, only to realize the glow came from artificial bulbs that flickered and died the instant truth entered. You ask yourself, how did I not see it sooner? How could I have trusted so blindly? But here is the secret, Sagittarius, you did see it. Your soul always knew. The whispers were there. The unease was real. But your beautiful Sagittarian heart chose hope over suspicion. And that is not weakness. That is love. That is faith. That is the part of you that always wants to give someone a chance to reveal their light. Never shame yourself for that. The shadow belongs to them, not to you. I think of Serena, a Sagittarius who once confided in me about the unraveling of her marriage. For years, she believed she and her partner were building a life together, only to discover a hidden web of lies and infidelity. When the truth came to light, she was devastated, not just because of the betrayal, but because she felt foolish for not seeing it earlier. I ignored the signs, she told me. The late nights, the evasive answers, the coldness that crept into his voice. I told myself I was overthinking. What Serena came to understand, however, was that her willingness to believe was not naivety. It was her soul choosing love in a world often ruled by fear. The pain was real, but so was her strength. The mask fell, and though it hurt, it freed her from living in illusion. Sagittarius, when masks fall, it is natural to feel disoriented. Your optimism, your faith in people, can make betrayal feel like a double wound. You suffer not only the loss of trust but also the loss of the worldview that believed in loyalty and honesty. Yet, as painful as it is, revelation is sacred. Because now you see clearly. The fog is gone. You no longer waste energy on someone who drains your light. You no longer pour love into a vessel that cannot hold it. Another Sagittarius man, Ethan, discovered that his closest friend had been undermining him for years, spreading rumors in their social circle. I felt gutted, he told me. How could someone who sat at my table, laughed at my jokes, and shared my secrets be the same one who wanted to see me fall? For a time, Ethan withdrew, questioning everyone around him, wondering if anyone could be trusted. But as he healed, he realized something important. The betrayal had sharpened his discernment. He no longer confused charm with integrity. He no longer gave his loyalty to everyone who asked for it. The storm of betrayal, though brutal, became his teacher. Sagittarius, that is the turning point you must embrace. Do not let the shadows harden you. Do not let betrayal build walls so high that love and joy can no longer reach you. Yes, you must learn discernment. Yes, you must trust the signals your spirit sends. But never confuse discernment with cynicism. Your gift is your ability to love fully, to hope, to see light even when others cannot. That gift must not be sacrificed on the altar of betrayal. Instead, it must be refined. Think of your heart as a compass. Each betrayal that once shattered you has recalibrated it, making its pull toward truth stronger, clearer. Where once you overlooked the unease in your gut, you now pay attention. Where once you silenced your inner voice, you now listen. The shadows have forced you to trust yourself more deeply. And that, Sagittarius, is a gift no one can take away. The emotional process of revelation will never be easy. You may feel grief for the person you thought someone was. You may feel anger at yourself for allowing them so close. You may even feel nostalgia for the illusions, because illusions, though false, can feel comforting while they last. Allow yourself to feel these emotions, Sagittarius. Do not rush to forgiveness out of guilt. Do not deny your anger in the name of being the bigger person. Healing does not come from skipping steps. It comes from allowing every layer of truth to settle in your heart until the weight becomes wisdom instead of pain. And here is where your Sagittarian fire guides you. Unlike some signs who cling to bitterness, you are a traveler of the spirit. You do not stay in one place for long, not physically, not emotionally, not spiritually. You may grieve deeply, but eventually your fire pushes you forward, reminding you there is more to explore, more to live, more to love. This forward motion is your saving grace. It ensures that while shadows may hurt you, they will never imprison you. In fact, Sagittarius, you will begin to see how necessary these revelations are. Imagine if masks never fell. Imagine if shadows remained hidden forever. You would spend your life pouring into relationships that secretly corroded your spirit. You would chase dreams that were never truly yours. You would give your energy to those who did not honor it. No, the truth, even when it hurts, is always kinder than illusion. Because truth frees you. So when the shadows reveal their true faces, take a deep breath. Acknowledge the sting, yes, but also the blessing. Because now you are free to choose differently. You are free to surround yourself with those whose light is real. You are free to walk in authenticity, no longer weighed down by deception. You are free to stand in the radiant Sagittarian fire that was never meant to be dimmed by falsehood. And remember this: you were not naive for trusting. You were brave. It takes courage to give your heart, to extend your trust, to believe in love. The shadows may have thought they could exploit that courage, but all they have done is prove how strong it really is. For here you are, standing, healing, learning, and rising. The shadows revealed their faces, but they did not destroy your light. In fact, Sagittarius, your light burns brighter now than ever. Gate 3: from illusion to liberation. Sagittarius, revelation is never only about loss, it is about liberation. When the shadows around you reveal their true faces, it may feel like your heart is cracking open. But what is really breaking is the chain of illusion. You are not being punished, you are being set free. The storm of betrayal, the sting of dishonesty, the collapse of trust. They are painful, yes, but they are also doors swinging wide open, releasing you from what was never meant to contain your light. The Sagittarian spirit is wired for freedom. You were born to roam, to explore, to expand. But sometimes the shadows around you subtly bind you without your realizing it. They convince you to shrink so they can shine. They persuade you to silence your truth so their comfort is not disturbed. They keep you tethered to dynamics that drain your fire little by little, until one day you wake up and wonder why you feel so small. That is the quiet work of shadows. They don't always strike with obvious cruelty. Sometimes they erode you gently, almost invisibly, until you forget how bright you once were. When their masks finally fall, you are confronted with a choice: collapse into despair, or reclaim your freedom. And Sagittarius, every storm you have endured has prepared you to choose freedom. You are not meant to live in cages of deception. You are meant to live in truth, even when that truth costs you people, places, or dreams you once thought you couldn't live without. Take the story of Naomi, a Sagittarius woman who worked for years under a mentor she admired deeply. This mentor guided her, praised her talents, and offered opportunities that seemed like blessings. But Naomi began to notice something strange. Every time she succeeded, her mentor subtly undermined her. Every promotion Naomi earned came with whispered criticism. Every idea she offered was praised, but later repackaged as the mentor's own. When Naomi finally confronted the truth, it shattered her. She felt betrayed by someone she had looked up to as a guide. Yet, in that moment of revelation, she also realized she had been giving away her power all along, waiting for validation from someone who secretly feared her growth. Losing her, Naomi told me, was the best gift life ever gave me. It forced me to own my brilliance. Sagittarius, this is the alchemy you are being called into. To turn every revelation into liberation, every betrayal into clarity, every shadow into a mirror that shows you your own light more clearly. Instead of asking, why did they deceive me? Ask, what part of me was ready to see the truth? Instead of clinging to the comfort of old illusions, ask, what new freedom is this truth offering me? The wisdom born of revelation is fierce. It teaches you that not everyone who smiles is a friend, not every promise is sincere, not every bond is sacred. And while that may sound harsh, it is actually a blessing, because it saves you from wasting your most precious resource, your energy. You begin to understand that your light is not for everyone. It is not meant to be scattered in places where it will only be consumed. It is meant to be shared with those who honor it, who fuel it, who celebrate it. This is where boundaries come in. Before, you may have given without limit, trusted without question, loved without balance. But revelation sharpens your edges. It teaches you to discern where to pour your energy and where to withhold it. Boundaries are not walls, they are sacred gateways. They do not close you off from love. They protect you so that love can flow freely without being contaminated by shadows. Think of a Sagittarian man named Caleb. He once prided himself on being available for everyone. Friends, family, colleagues. He gave endlessly, believing that generosity was the highest expression of love. But when several of those people betrayed his trust, he realized his giving had been exploited. The truth woke me up, he said. I realized that generosity without boundaries is just self-betrayal. Now, Caleb still gives, but he does so from a place of strength, choosing carefully who receives his time and energy. I'm still generous, he told me, but I'm not reckless with my soul anymore. That is the essence of Sagittarian wisdom. Your fire still burns brightly, but you learn to direct it with intention. Sagittarius, you must understand. Freedom is not only about leaving toxic people behind. It is about stepping fully into yourself. It is about releasing the false narratives others projected onto you. It is about recognizing that their shadows are not your responsibility to carry or fix. You are not here to heal those who refuse to face their own darkness. You are here to honor your truth and allow your light to guide you toward spaces where authenticity thrives. And as you embody this wisdom, you begin to walk differently. People sense it. Some may admire it, while others, the very shadows who once relied on your blindness, may resent it. Do not be surprised if your clarity causes discomfort. Shadows cannot survive in the presence of pure light. And you, Sagittarius, are becoming light itself, sharp, radiant, undeniable. The beauty of your path is that freedom always follows truth. Once you see, you cannot unsee. Once the mask falls, you cannot pretend it was never there. And though that may hurt, it also guarantees that you will never again fall for the same illusions. Every revelation strengthens you, making you less susceptible to deception, more attuned to your inner compass. You become a seeker not only of external horizons but of internal truth. And in that seeking, you discover a deeper kind of freedom, the freedom of self-trust. This is what it means to be reborn through revelation. The world outside may remain uncertain. People may still wear masks, shadows may still linger. But within you there is clarity. Within you there is freedom. Within you there is a light that no shadow can dim. Sagittarius, your journey is not about avoiding shadows. It is about learning to see them for what they are, and choosing not to live under their influence. It is about recognizing the power of truth, even when it hurts, and allowing that truth to liberate you. The shadows may reveal their true faces, but what matters most is the face you now show to the world. Unmasked, unapologetic, radiant with the fire of authenticity. Gate 4, stepping into destiny with eyes wide open. Sagittarius, the unveiling of shadows is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of a new chapter, one written with eyes wide open. For too long you may have walked with blurred vision, giving others the benefit of the doubt, extending trust even when your spirit whispered no. You wanted to believe in love, in loyalty, in goodness. That desire is not a flaw. It is your gift. But now the universe is teaching you a deeper truth. Love must be paired with discernment, generosity must be balanced with boundaries, and optimism must be grounded in wisdom. This is the initiation of your destiny. You were never meant to remain naive, nor to harden into cynicism. You were meant to grow into the rarest kind of soul, one who sees clearly and still chooses to love, one who knows the darkness of the world and still burns with light. That is true power, Sagittarius. That is sovereignty. I think of Ariel, a Sagittarius artist who once surrounded herself with people she believed were her friends. They praised her work, attended her shows, and seemed to cheer for her success. But when opportunities arose, their support vanished, replaced by jealousy and sabotage. Ariel was crushed when she finally saw their true faces. For months she questioned her worth, even her art. But as she healed, she realized that their betrayal had freed her from circles that only pretended to uplift her. She began seeking out new communities, people who celebrated authenticity rather than competition. Today, her work has flourished, and so has her spirit. The shadows taught me who my real tribe is, she told me. And they reminded me that my art is not for everyone. It is for those who can see its light. Ariel did not just survive revelation. She used it as a doorway into her destiny. Sagittarius, you are now being invited to do the same. The faces around you may be shifting. Some who once walked beside you will fade, revealed as shadows who never truly held your best interest. Others will remain, their authenticity shining brighter now that the false ones are gone. And into this clearing, new souls will arrive. Souls who resonate with your fire, who match your honesty, who honor your spirit without needing to diminish it. This is how destiny works. When illusions fall, space is created for truth to enter. But destiny is not only about people, it is about purpose. Every revelation you've endured has been shaping you, chiseling away the layers of illusion so that your true essence could emerge. The pain you've carried is not meaningless. It is the raw material from which your wisdom has been forged. Perhaps you've noticed that others now come to you for guidance, sensing that you carry a depth they can trust. Perhaps you found yourself speaking truths you once silenced, feeling a fire to share your story, your art, your vision. These impulses are not random. They are your soul nudging you toward the purpose you were born for. When you see the shadows for what they are, you no longer waste time playing roles that were never yours. You stop living for the approval of those who only ever wanted to control you. You stop chasing dreams that were built on someone else's expectations. Instead, you turn inward, listening to the voice of your own spirit, letting it guide you toward paths that are real. This is the essence of Sagittarian destiny. Not a life lived in illusion, but a life lived in truth. It will not always be easy. Revelation often leaves scars, and scars have a way of whispering doubt when you step into new beginnings. You may wonder, what if I trust again and get hurt? What if the shadows return? But remember, Sagittarius, you are no longer the same. The one who walks forward now carries the wisdom of storms, the discernment of experience, and the resilience of fire. Shadows may appear again, but they cannot blind you as they once did. You have learned to see, and you cannot unsee. This clarity is your armor, but it is also your liberation. It allows you to step boldly into the future, knowing that you are no longer at the mercy of deception. It allows you to pursue your dreams without fear of sabotage, because you know how to recognize false energy and cut it away. It allows you to love with an open heart, not because you are blind but because you are wise. Consider Jonah, a Sagittarius who once poured himself into building a business with friends. When betrayal came, contracts broken, profits stolen, he thought his dream had died. But instead of letting bitterness consume him, Jonah used the revelation as fuel. He rebuilt from scratch, this time choosing partners carefully, listening to his intuition at every step. Years later, his business thrives, not because he never faced shadows again, but because he learned how to navigate them with clarity. I used to think betrayal ruined me, Jonah said. Now I see it trained me. Sagittarius, this is your training. Every shadow that has been revealed, every mask that has fallen, has been sharpening you for the role you were destined to play. You are not here to live small. You are not here to stay silent. You are not here to dim your fire so that others can feel comfortable in their shadows. You are here to live expansively, courageously, truthfully. You are here to embody the freedom that comes from walking in light. So step forward with eyes wide open. Trust yourself more than you trust appearances. Honor the whispers of your intuition. Surround yourself with those whose actions match their words, whose energy matches their promises. And most of all, refuse to let the shadows of others convince you to dim your brilliance. Their masks may fall, but your fire rises. Their deception may wound, but your truth heals. Their darkness may linger, but your destiny burns brighter. Sagittarius, the shadows are revealing themselves because you are ready. Ready to step into the next stage of your journey. Ready to claim the life that is yours. Not the life built on illusions, but the life built on truth. And once you step into that destiny, nothing and no one can take it away. When shadows reveal, light prevails. Sagittarius, you have walked through the discomfort of revelation, through the sting of betrayal, through the shock of seeing faces you once trusted turn into shadows. It has not been easy. It has shaken your faith in others, and at times even in yourself. But now, as the dust settles, a deeper truth emerges. Revelation is not the end of trust. It is the beginning of wisdom. The shadows around you did not win. They only exposed themselves so that you could finally walk free. You are no longer the Sagittarius who ignored whispers of intuition, who dimmed your fire for the sake of keeping peace, who gave your loyalty to those who did not earn it. You are transformed. You see clearly now. You know how to distinguish between words and actions, between charm and integrity, between those who come to uplift and those who come to drain. This clarity is your power. It ensures that never again will you be trapped in the illusions that once held you bound. And here is the most beautiful truth. The shadows revealed themselves because your light grew too bright for them to hide. They did not leave you empty, they left you free. Free to step into relationships that honor you. Free to pour your energy into dreams that are real. Free to walk with eyes open, heart open, spirit unbroken. So as you continue forward, hold your head high, Sagittarius. Do not fear the truth, embrace it. For every mask that falls, every shadow that reveals itself, is proof that you are walking in light. And the light within you is untouchable. If this message resonates with your soul, I invite you to like, share, and subscribe. Not as a ritual but as a declaration that you are ready to live in truth, to embrace your power, and to never again bow to shadows. Because Sagittarius, the time of illusions is over. The time of light is here.